Thank you so much, Abdul Mikael, for joining this call. Thank you so much for partnering with us also at WFI Series. So AI is rapidly transforming the way financial institutions operate, and Ant Solutions is helping drive that change through intelligent document processing and automation. As a valued partner for the World Financial Innovation Series, the leading platform bringing together the fastest growing banking and financial service institutions and global solution providers, we're delighted to welcome Abdul Mikael, Head of Sales at Ant Solutions, to share his insights on the future of AI in financial services. Welcome, Abdul. Could you please introduce yourself and Ant Solutions?
Great. Yeah, thank you, Sam, and thank you for having me also. So, I'm Abdul Mikael, Head of Sales and Partnerships for Ant Solutions. And what we do is we build series of different type of financial solutions, and we utilize AI to make it better for financial institutions as well. And we provide this to companies across Southeast Asia. We are currently have presence in 11 different countries, and providing our solutions to banks and lending companies and helping them to utilize latest solutions such as AI to automate their systems. Our company is currently, actually, I'm in Mongolia right now, and we're Mongolian born and Singaporean headquartered company. And just last year, we secured our Series B with IFC, International Financial Corporation, leading the funding. So, yeah, that's a short, brief introduction about me and our company.
Thank you. And lovely view there, by the way, at the back. Thank you for the introduction. Let's move on to the questions now. AI adoption in BFSI is accelerating rapidly across Southeast Asia. From your perspective, what are the biggest operational bottlenecks financial institutions in Vietnam are trying to solve today? And how is intelligent document processing, one of the key solutions from Ant Solutions, helping improve this turnaround time and efficiency?
Okay, yeah, that's a quite well-fitted question for me because we do provide the intelligent document processing solution that is focused to reduce the turnaround time. So we've been in Vietnamese market not that long, actually a little over a year, and that we've been quite active in the market. And from what we see is the growth is quite rapid, and the acceleration is there. And what we see is the financial institutions are now trying to solve the some of the fundamentals in terms of groundwork for data automation, process automation, and reducing that turnaround time. So even the loans are quite popular products within the market itself. It's still taking a little bit significant time. There's some manual operation is over there. So from our experience, what we see is such loan products, especially if it's unsecured, can be done within minutes. And when we do mention about that, the type of lending products that we operate, almost all of the Vietnamese companies are quite interested. And how intelligent document processing actually helps that is there can be series of different type of manual documents that are provided by customers who are trying to avail of this loan product. And intelligent document processing can cross-check those, make sure that these are all belonging to this exact person, and get the exact information that the financial institution needs to make the decision to process this loan. And that's, essentially, if it's done manually, it can take a significant amount of time. But essentially, that's all it is. But there is another one additional step that we are quite are doing, where another lady who was a speaker at the WFIS event in Vietnam, in Hanoi. She's leader from a bank in Vietnam, and she quite agreed with me on this point as well, which is when the customer is making the submission of the application, we are utilizing the IDP tools to check within the document if they are indeed the correct documents that they should be submitting, and number two, if they are the correct documents, are they within the requirements? So, for example, if the bank statement is within the time period, like latest 3 months of bank statement or latest 6 months of bank statement, payslip should reflect this and that date and such. We all know that there are such requirements for loan applications, and finding them out when the customer is making the application is a really a game changer in terms of the turnaround time, because your main point was that, right, that how to reduce the turnaround time. And that lady was mentioning, okay, that's really great. If we have all the necessary documents ready when the loan application starts, reducing turnaround time is a piece of cake, is what we agreed on.
Great. Thank you for that insight and also how IDP, your solution, is helping reduce the operational bottleneck, and also for drawing that example from WFIS Vietnam. So moving on to the next one now. OCR has been around for years, but the conversation is now shifting toward AI-powered IDP solutions. What's the key difference between traditional OCR and modern intelligent document processing platforms like Mindox, what do you have, and what does that matter for banks and financial institutions?
Mm. Yeah, that's a great question, because definitely um, people do, get confused in terms of what's the real differences between the OCR and IDP. So when we present our solution, and the people usually say like, "Oh, so that's OCR, right?" And we like to, gently say, "Yeah, it's IDP." And the main difference is, of course, the IDP is a relatively new solution, and you already mentioned that OCR has been here for years. OCR has been here actually since 1960s, and it's relatively quite old system. And back in the day, people didn't really utilize it because it was expensive. And after the 2010, it started to accelerate, because as computing uh, price got cheaper and cheaper. So the main difference is the OCR basically works on the location of the document itself. So we have to specify the X and Y coordinates to, and then label, okay, and from this location you are getting the first name, and from this location you are getting the last name. That's essentially what it is. And it's it works incredibly well for a document that it's quite set up properly, and it becomes problematic when the templates of the documents becomes different variations. Even from one document from a single bank, they can have multiple different variation of templates on those and they just one day one bank decides to change their template. Now your OCR doesn't work anymore, because at that location that information is no longer there or partially there or whatnot, right? So that's the main limitation of OCR. It's very human resource intensive. On the other hand, the key of the IDP is it's more information based. The reason why we're calling it intelligent is it's looking at the document and it's reading everything, and it's understanding, okay, so we've got the first name over here, we've got a last name over here, it's indicating DOB over here. That means there should be a date alongside with it that is indicating the date of birth. It's reading through the document as a human would, and all we want is to get the correct information from the document. So it's reading through it, and then, oh, you were looking for the date of birth. This is here. There you go. That's essentially how it works. And then I think for banks and financial institutions, and then also with this increasingly growing era of automation and faster customer experience needs, It's important for banks and financial institutions for the right documents, of course, to shift to and be able to cater to multiple variations of documents without hindering the smooth process for the customer experience. And if we can provide better customer service, faster customer service, it increases our
Mhm.
customer satisfaction. The word of mouth goes. I tell my friend, "Hey, I applied to this loan. It got approved within 3 minutes. Oh, really? Maybe I will try." No staff count is increasing. We're keeping the same amount of people, and it's let's say we were doing X amount of loans this month. Next month we do 2x of that loan, and that's all going to be revenue. And in our lending business in Mongolia, we utilize IDP quite thoroughly, and we have only 100 people, around 100 people for our lending business, and we are doing about 30,000 loan disbursements every single day. And that's all, the key to our success is utilizing technology properly.
Great. Thank you for that key difference between OCR and IDP that's taking its place now, and also the entire bank's journey on how they're shifting from OCR through IDP now. So my next one to you, a broad theme, financial inclusion. It remains a major priority across Vietnam's banking ecosystem. How do you see AI, fintech innovation, and collaborations between traditional banks and technology providers reshaping credit accessibility, onboarding, and customer experience in the region?
Mm. Yeah, so I think credit credit accessibility, onboarding, and customer experience. So for onboarding and customer experience, we've covered it quite a bit. I guess the main key would be the credit accessibility, and for that one, I also experienced a little bit of um, struggle towards that, and it's happening everywhere. In terms of we call it the lack of visibility for the people, because the amount of data that exists on the government data, or the information that they provide, it's not really fully sufficient for standard banks loan application processing. And I do think that, especially for Vietnam, there's a strong shift that's going towards more of alternative data, because what they, especially for SMEs, I did ask a lot of banks and a lot of financial institutions, how are you currently doing SME lending, and how are you validating these businesses and these people who are trying to apply for loans? And then they mentioned that, almost all the time, the information, two different information that they provide, they don't really match eye to eye at all, because um, for different document they have different needs, and they Vietnamese people are very smart at modifying them to show the right perspective for whatever its needs is, right? So there's a lack of trust from financial institutions towards the lenders in terms of the documents that they do provide. So how they are shifting towards alternative data, because we do also provide the custom credit scoring solution. However, we do not provide any alternative data, or um, such additional data, and they keep asking us, "Oh, do you have, what type of data do you have? Do you have any data?" Unfortunately, we do not. We do work on the data that they already own, right? But that gave me a very good insight by closing, talking quite closely to the leaders of financial institutions, that they are very actively into alternative data, where they want to see the behavior of the people that are not actually recorded in the government data or the bank statement itself. So we're talking about, mobile wallets, e-wallets, other different type of platforms that are out there that are collecting these information on these people in terms of behavior. So how often um, do they top up? How often do they go to certain experiences? So that type of behavior, now they've shifted their direction towards that, and that's a correct way to do it. That's also how we do it in Mongolia as well. So we look at we do have a behavioral score analysis for our lending business, but a little bit of difference compared to the other Southeast Asian countries is in Mongolia, actually digital payment percentage has gone up to 95%. So very little use of cash. And that gives us a lot of understanding in terms of their paper trails, digitally paper trails where the transactions are leading. So with this rapid growth of especially Vietnam has now gone to about 55 to 60% of digital payment. So that is growing quite rapidly. As that grows higher and higher, I think that the banks and financial institutions will pick up what they need in terms of behavioral understanding from these transactional data, and combine with alternative data is where the shift is happening. Is my view.
Great. So banks are doing better while combining with technology providers globally. So moving on, as financial institutions continue balancing speed, compliance, and customer experience expectations as well, where do you see AI-powered automation having the biggest impact over the next few years within the Vietnam's BFSI landscape?
As head of sales, it's a little bit tough to predict the next 5 year future. And it's definitely headed towards more of building sort of like an intelligence by utilizing the more of an agentic approach. So what that would mean is basically create more tailored and sophisticated different set of AI agents where they're exceptionally well at what they do, and to incorporate into very specific tasks. I think the way that we do it currently is, for example, with the type of LLMs that we deal with, we let it do everything, and even our personal mental health, right?
Mhm.
So rather than that, creating something that is really aligned at a certain task, but several of them that do different tasks, and create a hub of um, 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 an AI agent hub where one is controlling the entire intelligence. That's where the shift is going. And for example, let's say if we look at um, one thing that is quite solved, especially for Vietnam, is secured lending, where we know that where the collateral is, or retail lending. But definitely the next thing that needs to be solved is something that is more related to figuring out how to do business loans better. And what we are looking into now is to create an intelligence that understands different type of industries and different type of um, business users and their nature of business basically, and utilize that to incorporate into SME loans, and bit by bit, maybe the AI can take over. So within the 5 years of span, what we see is building such AI intelligence that can understand all SME loans applications and making them more automated. That's where we're headed.
Great, thanks for that bit, especially on how AI is taking over the BFSI space currently and what the few years ahead look like. Um, so the next one now, Mindox is now on Microsoft Azure Marketplace. Does that give an added layer of advantage to organizations that are already using Microsoft services?
Yes, definitely, because um, Microsoft and Azure engineers, they actually validate and do audit the entire system, its architecture, its data flow, and that they before they put it onto the marketplace. And then it makes it easy to purchase. Yeah, that's definitely one point. But the better point is, if you are a customer who already trust and work with Microsoft already, and that's basically another one step that's easier, that validates things for you. So I think that's the number one advantage. Another one is, there are some benefits that Microsoft offers to their partners, to their clients who are already using Microsoft services. They do give like some credits and whatnot, and that's also another one fun way, I guess. If you are interested in some of the solutions that are maybe like Mindox or any other solutions are out there on marketplace, utilizing those credits, those benefits are one way to see and test out how they would work in your scenario. So yeah, those are the main 2 points that I think I would think. Oh yeah, there's another one. I already mentioned that we're a Singaporean entity company. So depending on, regardless where you are, Azure Marketplace also handles all the taxes and the withholding tax and whatnot. So those are another um, less headache for everyone, I guess. So those are the main benefits that I can think of.
Great. Now, I don't want to keep you on too long. My last and final question to you. You have been a partner for WFS before as well, and this year you took part in our first APAC series of WFS, which was in Vietnam. So how was your overall experience at the event?
My experience was actually really, really well, and it was one of the not only WFIS series, one of my best event experiences that I've had for the past 4 years, and I'm not sure what is the exact reason. There are multiple different factors. Um, there's definitely the people were very carefully selected, I believe. I think the attendees were the right members from the right company. So all of the conversations that I had with the delegates was very fruitful, and not only I was giving information, I was also receiving a lot of information on how things are during the 2-day event. We're getting insights and giving me the capability to actually answer some of these questions that you are giving to me today. um, Another part definitely is a factor is how our traction is currently in Vietnam. um, I think compared to the other, I'm not sure, but the other vendors, we were proudly, representing some of the Vietnamese financial institutions logos. So we already had the VP Bank as a customer. We have Aeon Finance as a customer, and also we have Toyota Finance from Vietnam as a customer. And these are some stronger logos that you can have, and have them vouch for your services is valuable, and that's um, for our compared to our markets, that's one of the stronger presence that we have, even though we are quite short time in the market itself. I think that piqued a little bit of more interest from the delegates as well, and helped them to be more expressive about their current the current situation. And also, this was one of my first WFIS experience where attending
Event.
the speakers talks and having a live translation with a headphone going on. And I think overall the the organizing and the setup of the event, and how it all went in terms of from trade passes, inputs. I think it went incredibly well, and I was quite satisfied to be a partner there.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that experience of yours at WFIS Vietnam. As event organizers, it gives us immense pleasure to hear these things from our partners. We loved partnering with Ant Solutions this time around, and we look forward to partnering again.
Thank you so much, and same as well.
Thank you so much, Abdul.